Welcome back then to the Asylum. It's me, Gunnar, in a chair of destiny, joined by the dude or the grave digger, as he's more. Dude, I'm so gonna make that stick. That's why I'm gonna keep mentioning
I'd rather be called Mort.
Mort.
Yeah,
Dude Mort.
Mort the dude.
Dude Mort.
Mort the dude.
We'll discuss this at greater length. We'll let the listener decide. We're also joined by the man in tweed. The man with the X for ufology. The man with the course for ufology, and
the man with the website for ufology.
The man with the balloon photograph.
The balloon, yeah, because apparently Steve took that picture.
Welcome back to the show, Mr. Steve Mera.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Dude, we really fascinating first hour. I know we're here to talk to you about Onstellar tonight a little bit as well, but there were some of those things that have been burning inside us. So I wanted to talk about those, but they bring us nicely to this point because you've spoke about the need for I guess a global training course and the standards to be raised amongst ufology. We've spoke about some of the issues with the Tom DeLonge and the Tic Tac incident or the Nimitz UFO and some of the concerns surrounding that. Onstellar, tell us a bit about it, Steve, because I believe, and we've just spoke about this in the break, this could be a platform for ufologists to explain and to spread this information and to communicate across the planet to make sure that we're not waiting eight weeks or six, 3 months to find out that it's a balloon UFO or something like this.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you guys, the platform could have never gone ahead if it wasn't constructed by guys like us. Simple as that. People within the field that know what is required, what is needed, what we want from this. I mean, I've spent a lifetime in this subject. What do I want? I want to be able to find the right type of information without spending 3 days on the internet looking around. I also want, I also want to find that information to be, authentic and not fake news.
Yeah.
I want to be able to find it fast and efficiently and be reliable. And I want to be able to rely on others as well. Because I can't jump on it. I mean, I've got cases coming in from Indiana at the moment. I can't jump on a plane and go to Indiana. I reach out for people in Indiana. There's, nobody seems to be interested. No, nobody to get there. And all hell's breaking loose there regarding some UFO stuff that's been going on and a military presence at the same time.
So where's this again, Steve?
This is a place in Indiana. It's, believe it or not, and this is no joke, it's actually called Santa Claus, the location.
Oh, I've heard of this. I've heard of Santa Claus.
Haven't we all?
Indiana.
Yeah, and there's a lake there called Christmas Lake, of all things. And they've been having very loud sounds coming from the ground, causing vibrations, UFO sightings, occupant sightings, which are objects that came down in local fields. And now the military all over this. The military are literally over these fields on a regular basis now, and they've been. I've got some fantastic photographs of unmarked helicopters you'd never believe.
Wow.
And there's been these shock waves that have been happening. You can never see anything, but these shock waves have been happening. Numerous lights and strange phenomena seen in the sky for the last 3 weeks, every single night.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, it's a ufologist dream, mate. But to go and get there, I can't just jump on a plane to Indiana. But is this something I passed? I'm trying to reach out for people to. This is where the platform will really come in handy.
Yes,
yeah. Because what we want to do is unite people. We want to bring people. I mean, I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm going to be able to say, is anybody out there who's living in Indiana and anybody who's in Indiana do want to help out on this investigation? And if they do, I'm going to reward them. It's as simple as that.
Oh, okay.
It means that our reach is global then. Be honest with you. Now, the good thing about the platform is, like I said at the beginning, it's devised and constructed solely for the subject related. In other words, we don't, it's not for people to post the lovely little photographs of kittens and things. There are plenty more social media platforms that these can appear on. It is solely for the subject. So,
good.
Straight away, as soon as you make any postings, you're posting into a friendly area. You're posting to people that aren't, mechanical engineers who's got a grump about the subject of ufology, which are going to jump on your post and say this is a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
You're posting into an area where people are like-minded people.
Steve, now, first off, I'm thinking about experiences right now as well, and the community you could create around that for an experiencer. The security to know that you could speak about your incident without fear of ridicule. Yeah. Without fear of of losing a job or something like this, or like say being an outcast in your society.
What's the worst place to post these days? It's Facebook, because
Yeah.
your friends, your family, your workmates are all on there. You're
Yeah.
going to post something about an experience that you've had. As long as you're happy to, to share that with everybody you personally know, then that's fine. But I think this is where Onstellar will certainly come in handy, absolutely, because you're posting, you can actually seek out certain locations to make that posting. There's going to be 142 categories. Within them are subcategories, which is going to be able to direct that source right to where you want it to be. It's going to be able to direct members to get the right type of information from exactly the place they want to get it from. So it is not only going to be a research tool, but it's also going to be something that brings this community together.
Vital.
And I think it's the only way forward. To be honest with you, I think we need to engage the actual website when it goes live. It's going to be surprising, because when the platform is initiated, people will see how techy it is. It is very, very techy. It's got lots of little, bells and whistles. And why have we done that? We've done that on purpose, because we want to engage the youth. Because if it's not for the youth, if we don't have the youth, then this subject's over in 40 years. It's as simple as that. We can't have them just sat in front of computer games all the time. We need to introduce them to something where that they'll gain some, insight to the phenomena that we're all interested in, engage even through the process of being attracted to a platform which is very techy. And that is why we've done it in such a way, because we've got to maintain the fact that there's got to be a future in this subject. And without the younger generation coming forward, there are investigators and researchers of the
They are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They are. And there's a war on, Steve, for these people in a sense, for their minds, because there are groups out there on the internet that get millions and millions of views on YouTube, disseminating nonsense information. We've got flat earth societies, courting millions of views. It's, that argument hits the mainstream now. And like I say, these are the future. These are the future of, about bringing about disclosure, if that's what's going to happen, about the next level of research, the people moving it forward. And we need these people to be on the ball, don't we? So we as the elder statesmen, perhaps you a little bit more than me, Steve.
Yeah.
Got away with that one, Daz.
I think you got away with that one.
No, but
Because you haven't got a tweet suit.
10 more years.
Yeah.
but no, but this is, isn't it? It's we have a responsibility, I think, to kind of, and you more perhaps than me, Steve, but we're just lowly radio hosts, but we have a responsibility, don't we, to disseminate the right kind of information, to bring people along in the right way, and to try and drive the conversation forward, not backwards. And that's what you're trying to do with this platform. Can I go into the £1 million idea that I gave you last year that you're now rolling out in your website? because I phoned you up, didn't I, excitedly, and I bet you.
You're not the only one. A lot of people.
Yeah, but Steve, admit it, mine was the biggest part.
That's Steve's get out clause.
Exactly.
Giving little clues as to what is really what they want. What do they want out there? What what's required? What would they like to see? And of course, it's just all accumulated together. Especially the fact is that when you do your research and you find out what's happening with social media platforms, such as like Facebook, for an example, has recently had to admit that they've been conducting social engineering experiments.
Yes. Yeah.
But all that information that they obtain, they sell it to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
Nothing is yours when you post it on Facebook. As soon as you post it on Facebook, you're saying, "Hey guys, do what you want with it."
Yeah, you are.
And that's even the photographs that you post. They obtain information from the photographs, like EXIF data, and they literally could do this in a realistic world, know exactly where you are and what you're doing, and sell all your information to the highest bidders, and they make an absolute fortune. What do they do for the members, the content creators, the people that are posting all this information that makes them that money? Nothing, because they don't get rewarded. They get nothing back out of the system. They feel that they're getting out to people, but they're not, because they're restricting you to 5,000 members. It is very compartmentalized, the way it works, and it's the same for many other social media platforms. Let's take YouTube for an example. I've heard horror stories for the last 2 years. It's getting worse, actually, by the day.
Yeah.
People, subject-related matter. It's not the thing that YouTube want to be advertising on. People are demonetizing. They're touching on the computer in the morning, horrified to find that, well, this is an income that they rely on. Some people do this as a permanent job.
Yeah.
You know, that suddenly all the videos are demonetized.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't like the content material.
And they keep changing the goalposts.
Yeah.
Worse still, people are getting up and finding the whole channels have disappeared.
Yeah. Well, who was the one recently? There was a chap in America who's just had his, and Richie Allen, of course, who is apart from the Asylum, obviously the largest independent radio show talking about this sort of stuff in Europe, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, but we're the best.
Of course, dude. Well, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
We keep getting guests like Steve. We'll be halfway there, won't we?
Should we have him on next week as well?
But Richie Allen had his whole YouTube site taken down over the result of about 3 videos talking about ideas that some people believe to be conspiratorial. But this is a guy with a trained journalistic background. And he's doing his level best to be even-handed, to do the things that we were taught in radio, Daz, in terms of how we should try and approach the subject. And he put some incredibly good content out there. And his entire last 3 to 5 years worth of work, hasn't it? It's just disappeared overnight, over the course of 2 videos.
It's an absolute nightmare for him. And the thing is, and I really do feel for him, but the thing is that the YouTube got a get out clause. They just simply say, well, we don't think it's suitable for our advertisers to advertise on it, so therefore we won't do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous where YouTube's going. Well, I've already looked forward in time in regards to what's going to be happening with YouTube, and it's not a pretty sight.
It's a dangerous world, isn't it? It's a dangerous world when you start curtailing people's free speech. You curtail their right to do their own research, to come to their own conclusions, and not only that, to have an opinion as well.
Well, if your opinion doesn't filter with the mainstream, then it's not.
That's
known.
what
Nobody
seems
wants
to be
know.
happening. And is that why Onstellar is vitally important as well, Steve? Because it's decentralized. Because it's a place where people can congregate, go in safety, in numbers, but also to find this information without fear of it being taken away.
Yeah, because when I say decentralized, so not those people out there listening that don't understand really what I mean by decentralized. I mean, there was no Big Brother. There was no committee, no big board meetings about what we're going to be putting on, what we're not going to be putting on and allowing or not. I mean, it's run simply by the members. There's no somebody behind the curtain pulling the strings. It simply is run by the guys that are involved in it.
It's just open and transparent.
It's open, it's transparent. Exactly. That's exactly it. And it's a safe place to post. You know, it's free speech as well. You know, so there's going to be a place for everybody, no matter what subject that they're interested in. That's the first thing. So, you know, there's no way that we're ever going to allow anybody to approach us and say, we want to do this and we want to conduct a social experiment on your bike. It's not going to happen. That's what's going to make us unique. And that's the way it's going to stay. The thing is also we're making it a research location, also bringing in people which specialise in their subjects, which will be really helpful for the outreach to the members to obtain information from these specialists. But it's also something much more clever. We've introduced something called blockchain technology.
Ooh, okay.
Now, how I'd explain this, because it's a bit of a frightening word, because people have been hearing about this blockchain for the last year or so, and it's been going on a bit longer than that. It was originally designed and constructed by the National Security Agency, of all people, believe it or not.
No sheep allowed.
Yeah, the National Security Agency. Those are the guys that originally made this. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why, is that it's because it's so secure. It's absolutely and virtually unhackable. Because to hack it, because it's when I say blockchain technology, it's like having a digital ledger, and every single member has that digital ledger. If I was to go in and hack into the system and hack, for instance, Gunner's account and try and alter something, then I've got to do that every single time to every member. Because the system suddenly realizes, hang on a second, one of the ledgers is different than everybody else's ledger, and basically corrects it. So what we're saying is that it is probably next to impossible to hack. That's the first thing. The second thing why we applied this blockchain technology is for the security reasons for content creators. Like I've said before, people that are uploading a video, a photo, some documents, whatever, when you upload something, the blockchain technology gives it a certain type of hash code. It's very, very long. It's computer language.
I can imagine. 10000111000101010.
It's even more complicated. It's even more complicated than that, believe it. But what it does is it won't allow a duplicate. So, for instance, because we are going to reward people, we're going to say, guys, if you can post to Facebook or all these other platforms as long as you want, fine. But if you want to post the same stuff on ours, well, we're going to reward you for it because we already have a pool of cryptocurrency. We're going to provide every single member comes along on the day of registration and joins and comes on the platform. We're going to give them an instant 30 crypto coins straight to the straight into their wallet, their digital wallet. Now they can do a number of things with this digital wallet,
like the Asylum.
For those that are really techie and into blockchain technology, they can switch it from one account to another account. So it carries over to say another platform or whatever, if they're into that sort of thing. For most people, I think it'll be one of two things. They'll be utilizing the cryptocurrency that they've got to purchase items on Onstellar, to purchase tickets or upvote people or share or whatever they want to do with that. Most people probably just cash it out, to be honest with you. Now, the good thing is that when you put something up, the content material, people can do one of two things. They can downvote it or upvote it. So we watch that situation anyway as it unfolds. But when they upvote it, you get credited. Okay. You get credited with cryptocurrency into your wallet, and it builds to the point where you can cash it out or do what you want with it. So we are rewarding people for doing whatever they're doing already on all the other social media platforms.
So is there a cost to actually join it?
No, it's absolutely free.
Perfect.
There's no charge whatsoever. Yeah, and that was the principle. Because keep in mind, guys, that this is something that I would want to do. This is something that, there's plenty of things out there. I could go onto this and subscribe to that, and I don't really want to,
Yeah.
Well, I would have wanted. But the fact is, this is why we want to keep it free and decentralized and safe and all these. We want to provide to everybody what I would love to have to see.
Yes. Built by the people for the people, really.
Absolutely, yeah. For a start, it's free. Onstellar is a free membership, and it's for all users. Now, we're also going to be giving verified profiles and professional individuals for organizations as well.
Right.
So, in other words, you get this verification badge, and when you actually look on verifications, you're going to go, oh, fantastic. What's under organizations? Right, okay, you've got Contact in the Desert. You've got this one, you've got this one. These are verified organizations that run these conferences. Then you've got your professionals. You've got verified professionals. These are people that we love within the subjects around the world, which have been doing it for a long time. The public figures of these type of things that they talk about, phenomena, at different conferences around the world. We've seen many of them, know many of them. Then we have individuals as well. So we're going to be basically helping everybody, there's no hierarchy. It's a matter of, we're there to help every single person out, no matter what they want. For instance, people have asked questions, what about my products and services? Not a problem, bring it to the platform. If you're an author, bring it to the platform, advertise your book. People can buy your book. There's no banks involved because it's digital currency. So in other words, if I want to buy your book and I've got 30 crypto coins, I click a button and you've got them now instantaneously. The whole system is going to be able to deal with 10,000 interactions all in one go.
Whoa.
Per second.
Jeez.
And the thing is that it's instantaneous. You don't have to wait for transitions and wait for money to alter from one currency to another or banks getting involved. There's no auditing on our website because it's self-audited. Because it does it for itself. Wow. So it's a safe environment, so people can express subject-related views and ideas, whatever they want to do. It's intuitive, and it's got an intuitive interface that allows members to connect with profiles, and of course, the content that they're looking for, whatever matters most to them. It attracts also new users who love the subject, and of course, the interest that builds it around those new audiences as well, because there's a lot of people out there just really kind of just going from one place to another, don't know really where to hang out. So it does engage followers with the latest projects and research and information. But for creating content, the articles, news, images, you can even externally embed. To begin with, you can externally embed your URLs. So we're not, it's not like we're taking anything away from any other platform. We're just saying, hey guys, why don't you get rewarded for it?
Yeah.
If you've got videos up on YouTube, then come and embed your URLs and ours. Let's send 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 people to go and look at your video.
Yeah.
Rather than just a few handful from Facebook or wherever other platforms are dealing like that.
Which is more subscribers, more views, and potentially more monetary gain as well for people who use those platforms.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, because you can earn financial rewards for the content contributors, so that basically comes in the form of our own currency, which is Onstellar's cryptocurrency. It's a very snazzy coin. I'm sure you'll like it when you see it because.
Has it got your face on?
No.
Oh, what? Has it got an alien's face on it?
Is it tweed?
No, you actually, guys, you'll be surprised because it's got circuitry in the background. It's got it's got the etching of the full human DNA within it.
Wow.
It is an absolutely incredible piece of work. So
that's amazing.
It's just that alone is we spent months on just to design the coin for it.
So the site itself, then, this is basically for all UFO phenomena and things related to that.
Paranormal.
Is paranormal going to be involved in this, Steve?
Paranormal, everything is. Yeah, there's 142 categories and there's subsections to that. Whoa. So we're covering. It's if you really want to sit down and write that, and we have. It took us months to actually figure out.
Wow.
142 categories worldwide. If you want to roll that down into sections, you would say ufological, paranormal, and your metaphysical, your mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
But whatever, anything strange, profound, unusual, unexplained, unknown, it's all going to fall into one of these three categories or subcategories.
Well, I think Tara's going to have to go on there, isn't
it? Under the section of divination. Yeah, 182 forms of divination.
Excellent.
Wow. I mean, to all intents and purposes, Steve, what you're doing is giving us a home.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want.
Yeah. That's what we all want.
I'm designing my own home, in a sense of speaking.
Grand designs with Steve Mera.
It is. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to be able to click on a button. I want to be able to, talk to who I want in whatever country. We're going to be introducing translator into it. So I can go on there and say, pick a subject and talk to somebody in China.
Do you know,
talk to somebody in Spain.
That's really interesting because Richard Dolan spoke about this last year on a radio show that I listened to, and he was talking about the new angles, the new places of research within ufology, and he picked out places like China and like Russia as having, probably because of the land masses, probably the same volume, if not more, of UFO sightings and amazing experiences, in these areas, but we never get to hear about them. Onstellar could provide a platform, like you say, a real-time platform when you communicate with people around the world. Now, I just want to come back to this, Steve, as well, because I joked about this £1 million idea. I'm only teasing.
You're not getting anything out of it.
Dude, I want one of them coins. That's enough for me, mate. I get one of them coins with Steve's face on it.
We're going to do, guys. We're gonna actually cast maybe about I don't know 10,000 of them.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
So it's definitely one for the asylum, then, yeah.
Will be providing.
That's when you get like 1,000 views. That is, you get it in like a plaque.
Well, there's a real
Can we have the first one?
The first one minted.
Can we have the first one minted?
I don't want to give the clues away, but it's a little bit more than a coin. It actually, you'll be doing something a little extra as well. So
I tell you what, seriously, Steve.
Honestly.
You frustrate me.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, mate.
I don't want to like Willy Wonka's.
Where's that ticket, Darren? Where's that ticket?
Yeah,
come
on.
Don't
we gonna?
Exactly,
we do.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm ready to get on that kaleidoscopic psychedelic ride, my friend.
Yeah.
I think what's most important is that people ask is about their content material. We don't own it; it's theirs. There's no exclusivity. Yeah. We don't want it. It belongs to the people that upload it.
That's amazing.
And there's no contracts. There is no contract. You don't have to abide by anything about how long have you got to be involved with Onstellar. You don't, because do what you want to do.
It's frightening the levels of which you could go with this, because it's almost you've got the YouTube platform or the Vimeo platform where you can share video, you can share content that you've made, you can do radio shows like we do or whatever, you can provide documentaries, but then you've got all the other side of it, like I say, the divination side of it, the metaphysical side of it. There's so much, there's so many angles, so many different things.
Because the problem with most social platforms is that when you're posting your content material, you're just posting it randomly. Sometimes you drop it straight to the wolves. You know, you
Yeah.
just don't know. I mean, is there a place for everything? Yes, there is. In other words, if you want, even for the, honestly, guys, even for the flat earthers, believe it or not, there'll be an area in there, and you'll go from category to subcategory to subcategory, and bang, 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 and eventually you'll come to the place where you want to be.
That's
And
my
then you
30
can
credits
post
gone.
it. Yeah, then you can post whatever you want to do in that session, because all you're doing is posting with everybody else who's interested in that subject.
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely. And that's not for us to say whether it's right or whether it's wrong. I know
No,
we will
no,
have our own opinions.
switch around. Yeah.
But the
There's so
important thing
many-
is the good content's gonna do well, and the not so good content probably not so well. And that's like it responds to good content basically.
Exactly, yeah. We want some, we don't want stupid stuff going on. But the thing is that we don't have to, like I said, there is a form of policing that's involved. It's a very clever. We talked about this a little bit earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
And basically, it's going to completely fall down to the members. Don't get me wrong. There is our guys behind the scenes watching things, making sure things are okay. We give the old slap on the hand when you're naughty. But the thing is that there's something that you'll lose, because you will lose cryptocurrency
and credibility.
I mean, the thing is that people don't care about on other social platforms. There's nothing much to lose, you know. And at the end of the day, people can upvote and downvote. If they downvote it, they're never going to get anything for it. It's a waste of time. It's 101 psychology again.
Yeah.
The thing is, if people are going to upvote it, then they know that, oh, right, okay, well, that's the kind of content I need to be putting out, because that did really well. Because they're going to get rewarded from it, So, and it encourages people to put relevant information up, new information. I mean, this is only phase one, guys. This is the minimum viable product, the MVP. This is just the base part. I mean, we have other phases that are going to follow this.
Oh wow!
Now that's just that bit. The other phases that follow this is there's an archive center. The Archive Centre is going to house probably the world's largest news clipping service, the photographic archives, the video archives. There's also going to be bringing over our own server, so people don't have to rely on places like YouTube or whatever. They can bring them over to us, and it's safe and secure, and we will allow them to make money on it. So basically do what they're doing on YouTube. You can bring it over, but we're not going to strike it. We're not going to say, oh, we can't have that. We can have whatever you want. Within the subject related. So we're going to be doing that. We want to bring the archives that are going to stretch into the official document section of UFOs, that type of thing,
which is going to be massive as well.
It's going to be huge. You won't believe the content that we've got. You wouldn't believe it. And all these are going to go into free archives. So basically, you're going to come to a hall of records, in a sense of speaking. And I tell you, it looks
can you call it that?
It looks like a hall of records.
Can you call it that?
It's going to be, you can just hit the door and go in wherever you want to go.
Oh, wow.
And you can say, oh, right, I want to research UFO incidents from 1940 to 1950 in France.
Yeah.
Okay, bang. You can go straight to it. Because everything is titled and resourced throughout the putting it onto the system, so that it's intelligently going to link you directly to the source. So we're going to have a very clever search system, because it's going to have search and advanced search. And that advanced search will take you exactly where you need to go, wherever you're looking for.
When can I sign up, Steve? When can I sign up?
Hey guys, I haven't finished yet. On top of that, there's a new app that's being put together. It's called the Discovery Mapping System. Now, the Discovery Mapping System is also unique because it applies to any phone, pretty much, out there in the world, which people can use. And what it does is, not only does it do the basic stuff, for the younger generation, it'll do the basic stuff, like it'll point out where, if you're nearby a haunted location, or a UFO hotspot, or an incident was reported, or a photograph was taken there, it will show you. It will alert you by a ping.
That's brilliant.
But for the techie guys, it's doing a real lot more. It's also monitoring live as it happens the electromagnetics, the magnetic anomalies around the whole Earth. Now, the correlation shows that there's up to an 89% correlation between UFOs and paranormal phenomena in areas of magnetic anomalies, even missing people, such as 411 and stuff like that. If you actually do your work, it turns out those locations are also in magnetic anomalies. It's just certain people haven't picked up on that yet. The thing is that as soon as you enter one of those, it's going to automatically start recording all forms of data.
Oh, what?
Location.
So
Data
this
that-
is similar
yeah.
to what we talked about. This £1 million. I'm going to come back to it again, Steve. This £1 million idea last year, but this is similar to what we talked about, isn't it? Because and I wanted to come back to this, the social media aspect of it, because one of the things that I pitched to you when I was saying to you was, we need a place where like, you know, like we can go and I can go and report my UFO experience that I had on a Tuesday night. And the moment I kind of log that I instantly get pings and data and information from other people in the same area, who all go, ping, I saw a triangle in the same area. And then you can connect with those people. Let's send a friend request. I want to talk to this person, support this person, or I want to find out more information because I'm researching a particular thing, i.e. like the magnetic fields or something like this. That is huge, isn't it? Because you mentioned this before, Steve, about Santa Claus in Indiana. On a platform like Onstellar, you could literally put a call out and say, I need people in this area. And you could have people recording real-time data. Now, the potential for this, and I spoke to you about this, like I say, last year, was you could almost have like a weather report. If you begin to pick out the data, you begin to pick out the information that you can then turn around and go, I think on this particular Tuesday, something might happen because the evidence or the data suggests that it may. That changes the game. Then, you know, because then it becomes, oh, why didn't you take a photograph? Why didn't you get, you know, why is it always blurry? Well, now we can have hundreds of people lined up on bloody freeways up and down the world, you know, or on hills, anywhere, waiting, you know, if they believe, and that really is a game changer, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's just so much that this platform can do. I mean, there's even an entertainment section, you know, which is going to house all the music, which is all subject-related music, you know, videos. It's also going to have the software. I'll give you an example. People can go on there and say, okay, I want to listen to a subject-related radio show, but
like the Asylum, by any chance.
The Asylum, and I want to only listen to, let's say, UK ones, and I want to go to Fridays. Bang,
better be yours
at 10 o'clock.
There it is. You know, we're going to have the world literally within this folder, so you can go anywhere you want and listen to subject. We all you got to do is put the date in the country. It'll tell you what's available.
Wow,
that's brilliant.
You know,
that's amazing.
We don't want people to have to go around spending hours and hours and hours looking around the internet and not finding what they want at the end of the day,
or finding the wrong stuff.
We just want to get them straight to it. So all that work's going to be done for all our guys and all our members, you know, that come on board. And there's still, believe it or not, even more stages that are following. Those people which are heavy content creators that would like to submit their work and be linked straight through to companies, broadcasting companies which may be interested. Wow. So we're going to have putting broadcasting companies in there which deal with this subject matter.
Looks like we're going into Stellar, gonna.
Exactly the same for people with books. You know, you can submit a script or whatever, and it's going to go directly through to the people that produce these books, that publish these books. You know, and it's the same for music. You know, and also software and games and everything else. So basically, it is a world. It is a world. This is why we called it Onstellar, because Stellar's it's like a universe, and within that universe is everything that you ever wanted. To be honest, everything. And do you know what? If it isn't there, come tell us. We'll put it there.
Yeah, you have done. I'm only teasing, but I tell you what, Stephen, and whether it comes from me, whether it comes from whoever, the truth is that there is there's a wider public out there. There are a bunch of people who are fascinated by this subject, and they've craved this for decades, for years. And now the technology is there, the knowledge is there, the will and the skill is there as well. So I take my hat off to you guys for doing this, for bringing this out.
You know what,
the platform is huge.
There's always still room for improvement, and as we move forward, when we do, I'll tell you what's going to be happening. At this moment in time, we put up the website for 12 hours, okay, and we had a huge people's response, you know, from usernames. What we're going to be doing sometime probably next week, the website will go up permanently. The white papers on the website are available for people to read through. I'll give you really step-by-step directive exactly of what we are doing. And it also allows people to register early, to be honest with you. Ooh. And the reason being is because we want people to get their desired usernames before they get all snapped up.
Yeah, I'm having the dude 1970, just so you know.
No, you're not. The grave digger 101.
And then on March the 22nd, we enter into the ICO program, which is the initial coin offering program, which means that we're not asking people to invest. We're not asking our members, people we know, to invest. We don't need to do that. because he's already going to go into the investment market. What will happen is, come March the 22nd, when you go onto the website, you will start to see figures on there, and those figures will represent the amount of investment that people are putting into this program, coming from big investors. Not the likes of you and me and people within the subject, really. But I mean, don't get me wrong, people can do that. At the moment, the Stellar coin is about 68 cents to the pound. We've got some of our guys which are saying, hey, I'm going to just put money into it and buy cryptocurrency, because a year, 2, 3 years down the road, it's going to be worth $4 or $5. So it's going to be just make a load of money on it, to be honest with you, because that's the way it goes. But we're not asking guys to do that. We're asking them to just say, come along, register, it's free, join it. It's as simple as it's there. But that option is there. So come March the 22nd, you'll see those figures up on the website as of what investment that we've got towards it. And after 90 days, which will take us to June, we will launch. No matter what the situation is, no matter what investment we have, because it's already done, we will be launching the Onstellar platform. And of course, that'll go live right there with them. And of course, then you just enter the world of wherever you want to go. It's as simple as that. But then we will start reaching out to guys in the subject, like yourselves as well, because we want to be asking questions like, hey guys, if you've got any ideas what you think this platform needs as well, bring it to us, let us know. We'll design it, we'll put it on, we'll do it. Because we want to grow with the people that are in this subject. We want to provide the things that we might have overlooked. We thought, oh yeah, I never thought of that. So that's the idea. It's to grow and give people exactly what they want.
Symbiotic adventures.
You have a say. You have a say about it. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, because it brings me back on another point you raised a little bit earlier about the Hall of Records, and it's been an ongoing conversation, hasn't it, in the UK, particularly for the last sort of 5 years that I've been aware of what happens at the end of a researcher's life. What happens? I mean, I know Malcolm Robertson just posted again about it a couple of days ago, showing the inside of a house of a particular well-known researcher from the UK, passed away a few years ago. And, that work can be lost. There can be family members who go, you know what, I don't care really for this. It was always something that Grandad did me head in with, and I've got to get rid of it.
If we find out that, because I totally agree with you. I mean, a good friend of mine, who passed away, all this stuff was thrown away. It's as simple as that. It happened with Graham Birdsall, unfortunately. A lot of his material was lost. I mean, although that myself and Chris Parr did buy some things from his office, but most of that was lost, unfortunately. But the thing is, it does happen, and things get thrown away. What we're going to do is that if people bring that to our attention, then we'll purchase it. We'll say, we'll go ahead and say, hey, okay, we'll give you whatever you want. What money do you want for that archive? And then we'll go and put all that archive freely for everybody to have within the subject on the platform.
That's perfect.
It is. I mean, coming back to the Jesse Rostenberg situation, he's sitting on. I mean, obviously, we talk about 1954, the Ranton UFO incident. Jesse Rostenberg saw a saucer-shaped craft hovering over a house. Her children kind of freaked out, ran back inside the house, and it kind of affected and changed all their lives. And fascinating case. And obviously, when she was on record talking about it, it's one of the most believable witness accounts that you're probably ever likely to hear.
Yeah.
When he showed us that information, it was obvious, Darren, wasn't it? It was obvious of what we were looking at. And we realized that there are so few people in the world who have ever seen this. And I'm thinking, I hope one day he gets to the point where he wishes to share it with everyone, because
publish it.
I mean, it's his own personal, his mum's work from her life and stuff like this. So it's entirely, of course, his choice. But from a ufological point of view, from a researcher's point of view, from a searcher's point of view, I would love to see that information out there somewhere. And what you're doing is basically providing a platform where this stuff can be housed digitally for the rest of time. That is absolutely critical. Because another point I want to come back to, Steve, talking about Indiana and talking about meeting research and talking about stuff like that, it made me think about the Warminster thing. Yes. Lights in the sky, noises, brick being thrown and all this sort of stuff, something that went on for 10 or 15 years. That would then be available. You could put the call out and say, hey, I need people in Indiana, Santa Claus, can you come and help me? Then those people could be working in conjunction with you, and we could be looking back into the past at the Warminster thing for gleaning information and evidence from that. It's a huge symbiotic environment. It all works together.
Yeah, and you can see on one of our images where it just says Onstellar, and it looks at the Earth, and it's just networking. That's all it is.
Yeah,
It's networking, and building these bridges to get to that information. Because there's so much is lost. Can you imagine how much is lost? Do you know how much information actually goes out within this? I mean, probably not even 10%.
Yeah.
You know, probably not even 2% of the population of the world. You know, I mean, it's just. There's a big world out there with just information you would never begin to understand and or ever find. You know, so when we want to build those bridges, we want to bring those communities together. We want to be able to people in, for instance, in China or wherever where they are in the world. They can go into the section, they select the right translation. They can, you know, they can have their own place. We're even going to give people channels. The people that want to come on board. If you're a member and you want a channel, you have a channel. You can have a channel for your own stuff. You can have everything you want in there, no matter what you want. You can have that. Any details that you want to provide, we can put that in there. We're going to allow them to actually deal with that themselves. To be honest with you, most of it.
Yeah.
You know, because people have their own way of saying, well, you know, what they want from the system. You know, but I suppose probably one of the significant things is that these further developments are just going to go on. And we already know that. I mean, I've already talked to you about stage 1 and stage 2. And as we get into sort of stage 3, then we start looking at some really serious stuff, such as the university sections and the training courses sections. There'll be courses no matter what you want to do.
Wow.
If they're available around the world, they're going to feature on the website, and of course you can get direct content from those courses as well. So there's kind of the Stellar Academy, what we call it, is that's in design at the moment in time as well. And places, basically, we're also going to have an events page. That events page will tell you what events are going on in the world as it happens. No matter, in fact, you can just go in and look at dates if you want. It'll bring you all the events up that are taking place on that date around the world and where they are. You want to buy a ticket? Click this button. You want to get it a little bit cheaper? Are they a partner? You probably can. You know, it's as simple as that. You know, it's just networking. But we've got them all planned. We've got them all constructed. So
I can't wait.
It's going to be happening as time goes by. But the first stage is just opening the doors to the platform first.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really excited
Very
because
excited.
I mean, not only are you providing a home, but you're providing the future as well, Steve.
Yeah, which, well, do you know, all I wanted to do is sit down and provide something that I would love to have.
Yeah.
My little
It's
own
always
world.
the best way to start.
You know? And then I realised, well, if I've got my little own world, I think other people might want it. Their own little world as well. So,
but it's true, isn't it? I mean, and you know, Steve, I've had long conversations about this when I first started the Asylum, what the goals were and what the aims were. But we built it from a listener's perspective. We built it from what we wanted to hear as people who are interested in the subject and what we thought was missing in something. I don't know if we ever achieved that. We certainly got some good guests on the way anyway, didn't we?
Great people.
But this is it. You're generally creating a platform, a unique platform. And we've seen things like Gaia TV in the last sort of 10 years. We've seen the People's Voice with David Icke. Brilliant idea. Unfortunately, didn't make it off the ground longer than sort of 6 months. What you guys are doing, though, I mean, is way beyond that, isn't it? It's tantamount. It's pretty revolutionary, really, in the field.
We're making a promise. We're going to say, look, you know what, it's going to stay the way it is. It's going to be decentralized. It's going to be safe. We're not going to be tapped into. We're not going to shake hands with any people that say they want to conduct experiments or they want to sell you private information. It's just never going to happen. So that's the thing. It'll never change.
Just saying that, Steve, when you're talking about the social media aspect of this, just that alone from a social media aspect will bring people to the platform, surely, because you know, I mean, can you get your techies to build in like some sort of maniacal child's laughter, like just effortlessly sort of floating away, like it's listening to you all the time, like Alexa? because I joke about this, but it's obviously been in the news this week, hasn't it? You know, stuff about Alexa, but this is it, dude. There are genuine concerns about people who use. I mean, we interview people and they're like, I won't use certain types of you know, sort of, you know, phone call sharing programs, let's say, because I don't trust the safety of them, you know, things like this. So the fact that you're going to stay independent, the fact that you're not going to do those things is actually just from the social media aspect is a really big draw for people.
It's
to
the
come
safe
to this.
environment.
That's
part
what I mean,
of it, isn't it? And that's got to, you know, that's the primary goal of this. So.
I mean, simply that's what makes it successful because we're not going to do it. Not people think they're getting successful through doing it. In fact, we're going to gain this opposite. We're going to get successful because we're not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of people waking up I was talking to Miles Johnson last night, and he was telling me about the nightmare that people are having with YouTube, including himself.
Yeah.
But people don't want to spend money these days on
No.
videos.
No.
We've trialed it with Zoho Entertainment Group. We have over 1.4 billion minutes watched now across our platforms, and we've become the number one on YouTube. Now the thing is, our days are going to be numbered soon. It's the same thing that's going to happen to us as it has with everybody else. They're going to stop monetizing, and we're going to have a problem with our guys. What we're going to do for them? How are we going to provide a service for them? Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to provide our own server, and we're going to take them over to ours.
Do you fear or worry about nefarious agents of the government trying to bring this down, Steve?
There's always that possibility. Yeah, but the good thing is, because we've entered into the blockchain technology, it surrounds the whole thing. And you know what? The National Security Agency built it to be virtually unhackable. So, the only guys that can probably take that down is probably the National Security.
I was just thinking that. If it goes down, you know who to look to.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then we'll give them their own space on the platform.
Oh, honestly, we should get Edward Snowden on, see if we can interview him about it.
Absolutely.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Steve, a fascinating subject, really. Long overdue, has been needed by the community and the public for decades. The most powerful thing I can say about this is, and it's not my words, but there's nothing more powerful than an idea that time has come.
Well, it is exactly it. Yeah. I mean, like good friend Barry Fitzgerald, big fan Barry Fitzgerald, he summed it up in just saying a few words the other night,
Well, he is Irish, so I'm not surprised.
Gotta love the Irish.
It's got I bet it's just one sentence, wasn't it? What was it, Steve?
He just said, "Together we stand, divided we fall," and that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
This is where this subject needs to go in the future.
Do you know, and it's a brilliant place to leave it, Steve, as well, as we close up the show. But it comes back, doesn't it, to that thing about Tom DeLonge, in that sense, and what we were talking about. How do we navigate this very tricky and choppy waters to get to the place where we all want to be, which is disclosure, which is the information being out there. And it's difficult. And like I say, as you're talking about this now, it kind of smooths those waters a little bit, doesn't it?
It does a little bit, yeah. And I mean, who knows what's going to happen over the next year, 2 years, 3 years? Who's going to come to us with what content? We don't know, but all we want to do is just provide an area that everybody can tap into. It's like having your own channel, no matter where you are in this world, that you can switch on and enter anytime you want. And that's exactly what we need for everybody on this. So, I mean, of course, for the listeners, for everybody out there, the website is quite simple. It's onstellar.com, and if you go on there now, you'll see that it's coming. It's just listing is coming soon, but look out for it next week. Grab your desired username as fast. That's all I can say is grab it as fast as you can, because from the tests that we've been running, they're going to be coming in thick and fast. So grab them as fast as you can, and then come June, just log in with it, and away you go.
Yes.
So just save me the dude, Steve. That's all I want. The dude.
The Gravedigger 101. The Gravedigger 101, Steve.
Everyone steals it, Everybody tries to steal.
No one's going to take the Gravedigger, dude.
Yeah, but they'll take the dude, and the dude is me.
Steve Mera, thanks for speaking to us, buddy. We will keep up to date with you with this as it progresses. Of course, we love the idea anyway. Of course, we're going to, it's very similar to ideas. Like, say, I phoned you up, and there are ongoing discussions around ufology in the UK and across in the States as well, and around the world about these subjects. But it takes somebody with a bit of vision. It takes somebody with a bit of gumption. It takes somebody with a heck of an idea and a work ethic to get those things over the line. And that's what you're trying to achieve. And that is huge, I've got to say.
It is. And it had to be created by the people which are involved in the subject, to be honest with you, because they know what it lacks. We couldn't have done it without a great team, the great team that we've got in America, and the great team we've got here in the UK, working literally working round the clock, to meet deadlines. And of course they've got the same vision is what I have, and it couldn't have been done without them, to be honest with you. But the information will be shared to you as it happens, as it's going to happen. There's a webinar. It's available over Facebook. Portal to Ascension.
Yeah, Neil Gower, isn't it? Portal to Ascension.
That's right. And there's actually a referral code there. I think it's PTA. And if you drop that in, then you get rewards as well. So there's little perks, all sorts of things when registering. And of course, that's up there. There's going to be a feature in the Phenomena magazine for March, and there'll be plenty more information circling the whole internet. So I'm sure people will keep up to date with it.
Onstellar.com. Steve Mera, thanks ever so much for speaking to us today.
Cheers, Steve.
Can't wait to see what comes in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years.
Who knows? Thanks a lot, guys.
Wicked. Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much.
Bye.